Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm Joe Panther III. And man, Ringside crew, you're in for a treat. I'm going to be adding another awesome photographer to my really cluttered imaginary wall of fame. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Amanda. Welcome, Amanda. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, if my internationally known audience is not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Cool. Yeah. So I am Amanda. I'm a photographer. I live in Brooklyn, New York at the moment, originally PA native. Been in New York for a couple of years. And yeah, I've been shooting for roughly like 12-ish years, I think, around this point. Went to school for photo. And yeah, right now I'm a customer service rep, and that makes the money to do the, other fun stuff like shooting shows. And yeah.
Awesome. So you do a lot of like deathmatch. Like that, I see in a lot of your pictures, you do a lot of deathmatch shows. Does that get like more of the juices flowing being a photographer? Because you're not just dealing with regular wrestlers doing the top rope moves and like regular stuff. Like you're seeing like people use like the barbed wire light tubes and the barbed wire light tubes. Wow, that's the future of the light tube of the deathmatch. Barbed wire light tubes, giving them ideas. Guys, no, don't add the light tube to the barbed wire. That's already crazy when you use the light tube. So when you see all these light tubes and tube chairs and everything, does that give you like that? Does that the juices come out for you as a photographer?
Yeah, I think I definitely am drawn like to deathmatch stuff. I mean, I love shooting wrestling regardless, like no matter what. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something that a lot of human beings just like some level of violence, and I don't really know how to explain it. But yeah, it's just sort of like an extra element that really like, I don't know. I feel like it's a different kind of energy. And I think there's a lot of like adrenaline and stuff that goes into it too. So that definitely, I am definitely more drawn to, like the deathmatch stuff for the most part.
So what was like your very first experience with the deathmatch scene? Was it at a show? Did you get booked to do photography? Well, when was the first time you ever saw a deathmatch?
So the first deathmatch show I ever saw / went to was in 2019. I was living in Philly, and I went to a show at this venue called the Voltage Lounge, and that was a GCW show. And so this was, I'd only really gotten into wrestling like a couple months before, maybe probably less than a year. So, my friend who I went with, he was like, yeah, so just like a heads up, like this is kind of different than the shows that you've been to. And I was like, oh, okay, like da 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 da. And yeah, and then I got there and I was just like, holy shit. I don't know what this is, but I fucking love it.
Awesome. Do you remember who the first matches you saw, or is that fuzzy?
Honestly, it's really fuzzy. I mean, like I don't remember the matches necessarily, but that was the first time I ever saw like Nick Gage and like Joey Janela and Jimmy Lloyd.
Nick Gage, is that right? I don't want to die. I've been like, you can't do my hand gesture, Joe. You suck. Like, no, I'm a podcaster. I don't like getting light tubes put in my forehead. Thank you very
much. But yeah, that was the first one. And I feel like after that, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, yep, that's a new thing that I learned about myself.
Awesome. So we're gonna show like some of your pictures right now. Here, I'm gonna do this one. It's like my favorite one that I saw. I love all the pictures you sent me, like black, white, and color. We're gonna go to this one, the first one right here. This one, when you were seeing this photo, did you have a reaction on your face when you took the click, or did you just, because everybody has they're always clicking the finger on the trigger of the camera. Were you automatically clicking it? Did you want to wait till he got more into the, like, what were you thinking with this photo?
So, yeah, so a little bit of, I guess, like context. So this was taken at a New Fear City show, which they're like no ring death match, based in Brooklyn stuff. So, I really love shooting these shows because there's no ring. So everybody is kind of like it's very tight. It's very like chaotic. And I really like it because like I can get super close like this. I mean, as much as I am like seeing and like kind of paying attention to how I'm composing the photo, I'm also still like part of the crowd. So like I'm sitting there, I'm, framing everything, but I'm still just like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like just still like losing my shit and just having a good time. So yeah, it's just, and it's so loud and there's all these like, flashes, everybody's got their phones going. And, but yeah, it's as much as I am like paying attention to how I'm shooting, I also still am like a participant and, a fan essentially. So I definitely still kind of, have these reactions, I would have them regardless of whether or not I had the camera.
I just wonder because I know I've interviewed another photographer and they're like, I was just clicking away until I found the right picture and that happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would think. I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna click until I find. Oh, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know that moment? Do you know a moment? Do you click the finger on the button, or is it just happens?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, for me, I definitely agree with taking multiples of the same, like kind of like taking multiple shots of one instance or moment that's happening, just because, like you said, like there could be just like 1 in 10 of those that they all look the same, but like there's a certain facial expression that's like really drives it home. So, but there's also, a very certain, like, I don't know, I try to be very methodical and sort of wait, like if I can kind of feel that like some really super cool thing is going to happen, or like, everything is just going to align, like I will wait. So I guess it kind of depends on the situation and the match and the energy. Cause sometimes, I'll definitely take like multiples of like the same angle or something like that. But other times I just sort of wait, and you can kind of feel when it's like, okay, like that's it. Like I gotta get that. So I guess, a little bit of both. And it's a hard balance for sure. But I don't want to just be like pressing the shutter just for the sake, just to like make sure I get a good shot. So, but it's a weird kind of balance of both of those things.
I feel bad for the Spotify listeners that only just listen.
Because they can't see.
Yeah, they can't see it right now. So like, everybody's not being able to see this, and you're missing out on this part. But yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, you can listen to me talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but just seeing, maybe not even necessarily the photos, but even just like going to a deathmatch show is like, it's one thing to talk about it. It's completely different to like witness it.
Yeah. So like right here with this shot, was there any particular reason you chose that pose he was doing, or was it the end of the match, or was it just something that was happening?
Yeah, so this was like right around the end of the match. So the guy between the two boards with barbed wire, Anthrax. So this is him versus Casanova Valentine, who is kind of like the hometown hero of New Fear City, and he had just jumped off of the stage onto him in this this barbed wire board sandwich, and that was the third count. So Casanova had just won the match, and I'm like, that's it.
Awesome. I think I have two more to show, and then and then we're almost done. Here we
Cool,
go.
yeah.
Boom. Got this one. This one I like. This is one I chose because I like beer. I like drinking.
Same. That's another really fun part of these shows is like everybody just gets hammered and it's great.
Yeah. It makes me fat because people think, oh, deathmatch is just everybody going crazy. But right there, this guy was just sitting here and this guy came up and said, here, you want a beer? There you go. Beer.
Yeah. Yeah. The crowd always gets really hyped when Cass comes out. And yeah, this guy apparently at this bar, you can just drink a pitcher of beer as like a cup of beer, which I was unaware of, which I will have to partake next time because I didn't know that. But yeah, it's super fun. It's, you know, as much as it is like crazy and gnarly and chaotic, it also is just like a very positive, high energy. It's like weird because it's super violent. But it's also like everybody's there to have a good time and everybody is also, you know, looking out for each other. Like, you know, they had bands playing in between. So people who are moshing, you know, if somebody falls, like someone else will help them get back up. Like, that's something that's really, I like that a lot about these shows in particular is that like, yeah, it's like wrestling and it's like gnarly and fun and chaotic, but it's also like, you know, everybody just wants to make sure that everyone has a good time and, you know, like, don't be an asshole, like help each other out, you know, like.
Yeah, before like this was the last picture, and then a few more, like one more question after this. Like,
Yeah,
this
for
one
sure.
right here, I love belts and I love champions. So, what were you thinking with this one? You thinking, oh, he's the defiant champion, or with like the heel? What was with this one?
Yeah, so this is Dominic De Niro. So he is yeah, he's kind of held the belt for a while and like defended it with his fucking life. So this is kind of his like you know, when he just came out, so his kind of entrance, and you know, he's walking around with the belt and he's like, you know, and just sort of asserting like, yeah, I'm a fucking champion. And yeah, you know, tracksuit terror, love the colored glasses that match his suit. Like it's just there's like this pride, but also this like power and this attitude that I love photographing Dom because he is like so expressive and so emotive. And yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. So before we go, if my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much only on Instagram. So if you just type in my first and last name, Amanda Quevedo, but is there a way that I can like add, hold on, let me see if I don't know if this will change it.
Oh, you changed your name?
Yeah. Okay, cool. There's my handle. Should have put that at the beginning. Yeah, but that is my Instagram handle, Crybaby Cowboy. Or or you could go to my website, which is just my name, mandoquevedo.com. But definitely Instagram is like the most, like that's what I keep up with the most. That's where, you know, more recent stuff is going to be.
That's where we found you. Yay, on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm so glad you reached out too. That was very cool. I was just kind of, I was like, whoa, like,
I love photographers, and you guys do the fun part. You do the stuff we see after the fact that the wrestlers post on their Instagrams and their Facebooks and X and everywhere else. So, before we go, I just want to wish you luck. Stay safe at the shows because you do a lot of deathmatch. But best of luck on your photography, and hopefully I could beat you at a show one day. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be super awesome.
I have stickers. I'll bring you a Dudes at Ringside sticker. We could take a selfie with that. We could take a photo of. All right. I want to thank you so much, Amanda. I'm Joe Panther III.
Oh, I'm Amanda Quevedo. Sorry.
It's okay. And we will catch you in the next one.